A target of completely negating the amount of greenhouse gases produced by human activity, to be achieved by reducing emissions and implementing methods of absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. That is the definition of net zero according to the Oxford English Dictionary. Net zero is a concept that means a lot of things to a lot of different people. To governments, it's a broad statement on the direction of the country. To companies, it's often a commitment to reduce how much carbon dioxide they produce in making their products. To universities and environmental institutes, it is a theoretical concept. But what does it mean to the average person on the street? To the average person on the street, being net zero means reducing the greenhouse gas emissions that we produce to a point where they're balanced with the greenhouse gases that we removed from the atmosphere. It's similar to concepts such as carbon neutral, but the key point here is that the focus is on reducing the emissions you produce, at the same time as increasing how much of those emissions you can remove from the atmosphere once they've been produced. So what's a good example of this? Well, a range of companies and nations can pledge to reduce their emissions to meet net zero. One example is Ricardo, an engineering company that covers a range of fields, including the worlds of motorsport, freight, and defence. They're making changes to how they work in order to reduce the emissions to the point when all the emissions they produce and recover are added up, making a net of zero. Like with many things, little things add up. A 2020 estimate put the carbon footprint of each person in the UK at 12.7 tonnes of carbon dioxide equivalent. So, gases that have the equivalent effect of carbon dioxide. Or the same as 18 dairy cows' weight worth of carbon dioxide equivalent. So, that seems a lot. And, well, it is. It is quite a lot. But there are quite a few ways in which you can reduce your footprint. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the little ways you can reduce your footprint. There's plenty of lists online with some really excellent changes you can make. What I will recommend, however, is using a carbon footprint calculator. So often, we are told we need to reduce our carbon footprint. But the best way to start is to understand where the majority of the carbon that you generate comes from. From this, you can start your journey to net zero. A few good examples of this include the Resurgence Carbon Dioxide Calculator. This is a very in-depth calculator by the Resurgence and Ecologist magazine. The World Wildlife Fund Ecological Footprint Calculator. A quick and easy, but not as detailed as other calculators. And Climate Care, an emissions calculator focusing on emissions from flights and the holidays that we all enjoy taking. There are so many good ones, each looking at a range of different things. Now, to help, there's a link on screen at the moment that will take you to a report by the National Association of Local Councils, and this report has a quite extensive list of different calculators that you can use to help work out your carbon footprint. So, have an explore, look through all the ones that you can find, and if you learn anything useful, whether it's little tips to reduce your footprint, or just finding out which is the best calculator for you, make sure you pass it on. Talking about the environment is actually one of the best things we can do to minimise our negative impact and maximise our positive impact. With that in mind, here at Chain Reaction Series Steam, we're setting you a challenge, and it's a good one. In time for the United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties, also known as COP26, happening this year, Chain Reaction Series and the Nuclear Institute's Young Generation Network has created a speaking competition based around the concept of net zero. Now, we're calling this competition Speak Up for Net Zero, and it'll be open to 16 to 18-year-olds. Keep an eye on our social media for more details of the competition and of the excellent prizes we've lined up for the winner. Submissions will close on the 16th of May 2021, and a virtual competition to decide the winner will happen on the 7th of July. So, best of luck, and make sure to follow Chain Reaction Series Steam on social media to keep up to date and for more excellent content on the run-up to COP26.